Alright, hello everyone. I'm doing a quick tutorial on how to play Mind Night. So let's go through the basics. You log in today, it's day 1. Now I'm in the tutorial, it's gonna ask me to hack this. But firstly, when you first start playing the game, how do you know what role you are? Well, if you look at the top left, you'll see your name. So in this case, I'm Dr. Green. Then underneath, I can see that I'm Network Specialist. That's my specific role. I can click on this. It takes me to the main game guide, which in-game will tell you what you can do. You're part of NetSec, and you are definitely very important. Now, they say Network Specialist Investigative with moderate node capture chance, but what you really should think as the NetSpec, you're predominantly a hacker. And I'll get into what that means later on, but that's the big deal about what you are. Your abilities are on the bottom. Your day skills: hack, Wireshark, and probe. And then you can see at night you have cover your tracks and review connection log. They do add in if it's a day or night ability. They're going to do so eventually, but if you see, only my 3 are available during the day. You also note that some of them, for example, like Bounty Hunter, we have these special perks like No Per on Me and Not a Snitch. This stuff is special traits that can change the outcome if a person gets arrested or killed, or can also give benefits to one side or the other depending on what's going on. I'll talk more about fake hacks in a second, but it's also important to note that the name of this game is, if you are green, you're NetSec. Your biggest win condition is somewhere on the right side. There's a computer you want to hack. To get to it, you need to hack these computers and work your way across to that node. Alternatively, you can also go and kill all the agents. At the beginning of the game, there's 2 agents, and they also have the ability to convert additional people as moles. As soon as every single agent and mole is eliminated, that would be the other one condition for NetSec, which are these green. On the other side, the field agents, the field agent, agent leader, and all the moles, their goal is to win by shutting down NetSec. And there's 2 ways they can do that. Well, technically 3 ways. 1, they can kill or arrest every single NetSec operative. Now, keep in mind, you notice we have these neutrals in the middle. If these people are still alive at the end, but all the NetSec is down, agents win. Because agents don't care about any of these people. In fact, some of them are helpful to agents, some of these are not. It depends on how they ally with each other. Secondly, as the agents, you can just take out the OL. Up here, the first one. Once you've taken out the first OL, and time expires, which there's 7 to 9 game days available. If at the end or conclusion of the 9th day in a full game of 16, you still haven't got to that target and you've lost your OL, well, you've lost the game as NetSec, and the agents will have won. The third lose condition is that NetSec can lose to the agents if the OL passes root to an agent and then gets arrested. Or they convert the person who got root and that person gets converted and then the converted after the OL's death. Or the OL dies into him after he's been converted. So either before or after. But once root's been secured by agents, it is game over for NetSec. At that point, everything's done and over with. If you are a neutral, you have very special win conditions. Bounty Hunter wants to get 3 people arrested either by their own citizens' arrest or by their spill the beans. Journalist wants to get 3 scoops and write 3 articles from these scoops. Script Kitty just wants to survive to the end of the day. Resentful Criminal wants the agent leader and the operation leader killed. The sociopath wants to kill the operation leader or take the route, either way, doesn't care, and then get arrested. And the rival hacker doesn't care if they live to see the end, but if they get arrested, they lose. However, rival hacker's only goal is NetSec doesn't win, which means technically if the agents win, rival hacker wins. However, if even if the OL is still around, if the mission fails due to time expiring, but the agents and the OL are still in the play, that would be a draw. The rival hacker could still win off that because NetSec did not win. Apparently, it's supposed to survive. That was a weird change. It used to be that rival hacker could win even if dead, but I don't know. Anyway, so that's all the main win conditions. And again, for neutrals, double check. You're gonna get confused on them first couple times you actually play them. Just use F1, look up what your roles are. If there's a role you're not sure about, check it. You get the cooldowns if there's a cooldown on something. You get, like Wiretap, for example, 3-day cooldown, which means after 2 days of not using it, you can get back again. So you got things like that. You got options, but you got to use F1 to check it out. So now, to hack a node, if you have a hack, click Hack Target and select the node you want. You can right-click or hit Escape, but then since it's a tutorial, it won't let me do that. So now it wants me to demonstrate how to log actions. Well, come on. Oh, there we go. Okay, so personal log. So the personal log is super helpful. It's missing something at the top, but the way the personal log works is at the top you want to put your claim or whatever you want. You're then going to select. In this case, I'm network specialist. I'm hacking the only node. I click append, hit close. And then when you're done, you hit save and close. So that's the basic way you play the game. You use your action, you log it. You should know the basics of what action you're doing before you do, but if you miss it, you can log it by changing the name. Or I'll show you how to do that in a second. Alright. So if you click on this, you can see every single person who accessed this. Very important that you know how to do that. Alright, so they want me to use cover my... So at night, you notice how Hack Target went NA, Wireshark, and Probe went NA as well. That means that those are day abilities, and these two, cover your tracks and review connections, are night abilities. Night abilities simply means you can only do them at night. If I was to change to Enforcer, Desperate Measures is only day ability, and keep in mind you can only do it after day 4, so you would not be able to do anything. If I want to go back to day 1 and I was logging as an Enforcer, I would hit add append empty action and it would make sense. But again, keep in mind that different people do different things. You can always append an empty action if you actually can't do anything, or say for example it's night 1 and I want to cover my tracks. I could either append it or I could add an empty action. I could do like this, and then if I sent the logs, no one would be suspicious of me. This is totally fine. Honestly, you would add at the top what your role is, and sadly the tutorial doesn't let you do that easily, but anyway, so they want me to add cover my tracks, so I'll do that, clear this. And by the way, if you ever need to send your logs for any reason because people are questioning you in the game, click send selection and close. Like, see that? It drops that. It'll also automatically save it for you as well, so that's an option. In this case, we're now under a time crunch, so now it's easy to panic, but we'll see. Yeah. You notice how at the top it says operational leader, day 1 grant root. They redacted it. You can do that manually. Emergency extraction. Alright, let's get Dr. Orange. So, in this case, Dr. Orange would now have to submit logs because he's in question. So, let's see what his logs are if he's going to post them. Rule number 1 is always post logs. Always post logs when asked. Always have them made. Always post them. There's a saying here, no logs, no life. You will get destroyed. Nope, that's a bad log. Get him. You see how he says midnight meeting with Dr. Blue and Dr. Blue got arrested, so that means he has to be the FA. If you're ever making fake logs, you never want to state even that the person who got arrested. If you do that, there's a good chance someone's gonna get really annoyed. So, we're gonna vote. There we go. Also note that once it turns orange, the OL, if they vote, will count. 206. Alright. So then we're going to log 206. Normally, in this kind of situation, we would do a split between the top and bottom by position in the queue. The reason we do that is to spread the hackers out and make it less obvious who the strong hackers are, and to get the most number of chances per server. So there you go. Dr. Orange was a field agent. And we didn't get either node. Ooh. He changed his log to Dr. Red. Remember, by the way, if you're NetSec, there's both an agent and there's both a field agent who's going to be like a police officer making arrests during the night and getting warrants during the day. And then you're also going to have your agent leader who's going to be more covert and in the track of things. Alright, so that's the basics of how to play the game. I highly recommend that you get started. You practice the tutorial, you figure out how the log maker works, you get used to making a log, add details. If you get occupied at night, if someone else meets you, you add it to your log. It works like a normal text editor. It's very easy to use. Practice it and you'll be very successful with it. So hopefully this opens up the basics of how to write a log, some key points in faking and playing the game.